Speaking directly to people with disability is always the best way to find out more about the issues that impact our lives. So I've hit the road to meet with Sophie, a young woman with cerebral palsy who has landed a job after a difficult hunt. Sophie, hi!
Hi, how are you?
She tells me that her new job has given her the opportunity to live independently and has renewed her sense of purpose. Can you tell us about your new job?
Yes, really exciting. I've always been passionate about the disability sector, and so I've recently landed myself a new job working for First People's Disability Network as a policy officer.
But it took Sophie, who has an inclusive education degree and a community services diploma, 5 months to find a job in the disability sector.
I found that people were putting me in the too hard basket because I required additional adjustments.
Sophie, do you think discrimination was a factor in you struggling to find a job?
Discrimination was definitely a factor, and I think that has definitely played on my confidence over the years. It definitely has gotten me down at times.
The reality is Sophie's not alone. The Human Rights Commission tells us that 1 in 5 Australians with disability have experienced discrimination at work, and it's even higher if you have an intellectual disability.
It would be hard for me to get interviews. I would get a lot of rejection emails, and it was really hard for me to get a job.
Ben is 37 and has lived experience of intellectual disability. While he's now in a job he loves, he spent years unemployed, looking for work. He's now built a career raising awareness of the rights of people with intellectual disability in the workplace.
A lot of businesses out there are afraid to employ someone with an intellectual disability because of the unknowns.
And what would you say to a business that's afraid of the unknown? What would you say to them?
I would say to them, give us a chance.
People like Ben and me who live with disability are twice as likely to be unemployed compared to those without disability. The person who is now responsible for disability employment and delivering change is Minister for Social Services, Amanda Rishworth. Lots of ministers have tried to change this statistic before you and failed. So what are you going to do differently to actually reduce disability unemployment?
I am very much looking at different ways that we can address this. I think business is part of the solution here. Businesses need to understand that employing people with a disability is an opportunity and not a challenge. When you've got 88% of people living with disability not requiring any workplace modifications, and then those that do are relatively minor.
But if the last 30 years has taught us anything, it's that changing this statistic requires a whole of community effort. Like Sophie and Ben, I've experienced disability discrimination in the workplace. And until we make our workplaces safer for people with disability, we simply won't see more people with disability getting jobs. And I, for one, refuse to let another 30 years go by without progress.